Hi, good morning. Well, it's morning for me anyway. I don't know if it is for you. Today I want to finish off this little section of present simple, and I want to finish with something that we use a lot with present simple, which is adverbs of frequency. Okay, they tell us how often something happens. Okay, so I can say, for example, I can say I have eggs for breakfast, but that doesn't give me lots of information, yeah? But what I can say, if I use an adverb of frequency, I can say I always have eggs for breakfast, okay? And this here is an adverb of frequency. It tells us how often something happens, okay? It tells us how often something happens. So, what can we use for adverbs of frequency? Well, there's some that are very, very common and we use them all the time, okay? So I'll go through those ones first and then I'll add in the other ones as well. I'll give you some examples on the board and then I'll put them into order, okay? So, the first one there is always, okay? That means it's something that we always do. We never not do it, okay? Now I've just added an adverb of frequency there. It says, I never, here we go, I'll be a good boy here. I never drink alcohol, and it is true, by the way. Anyway, I never is the opposite of always. So always is something that we do all the time, if you like, Dima, okay? And never is the opposite. It's something that you never do. No way, no, I never do it, okay? Okay, I often use my bicycle. Often is something that we do. It's not something that we always do. It's definitely not something that we never do. It's something we do. It's often. It's something that we do. Yeah. Okay. And then one more easy one. Okay. He is usually late. Okay? Usually is something that it's not happens all the time, but it happens most of the time. Yeah? Okay? Usually. Right, okay. Now then, some interesting things to pick up from the sentences I've put on the board, and then I'll write the other ones in order for you, okay? Where do we put the adverb of frequency? Okay? Where is the verb in this sentence? The verb in this sentence is have. Okay? The verb in this sentence is drink. The verb in this sentence is use. Okay? The verb in this sentence is the verb to be here. Okay? So, these are our rules for English grammar and where we put the adverb of frequency. If we have a verb, they generally go before the verb. Okay? The adverb of frequency goes before the main verb. But if we use it with the verb to be, then it's after the verb to be. Okay? So, before a main verb or after the verb to be. We can use them in other places, but this is just the general rules to start with, okay? Right. Okay, let me put them in order for you now. We'll go from the top down, okay? So we'll start off at the top. Something that is 100%, we use always. Okay? These are just general ideas, okay? It's not exact, but it's generally true, okay? For something that's 90% true, we say usually. Okay? Then we've got maybe 70% true. We say often. Notice the way I pronounce that. It's not often, it's often. The T is silent, okay? Yeah? Okay. Then we have 50%. Sometimes. And then down at the bottom here, 0%, never. Okay? Just to add some extra ones in, these are the ones you normally have at beginner level, okay? To add some extra ones that come in for other levels, and again, this is generally, the percentages is generally right, okay? We could say 80%, we could put in here normally. Okay? Something that we normally do. Okay? We could have here maybe at 30%. We could have occasionally. Okay? Maybe it's 10%. We could have one that we use a little bit, is seldom. And then one that's almost never, but not quite. Hardly ever. Okay? So there we go. Maybe 100% always, 90% usually, 80% normally, 70% often, 50% sometimes, 30% occasionally, seldom 10%, hardly ever 5%, and never is at 0%. And don't forget, okay, where do we put them in a sentence? If we're using a verb, they normally come before the verb. If we're using the verb to be with an adjective, then they're after the verb to be. Okay, so for example here, I always have breakfast. Okay, whatever time I get up, I always have breakfast. Okay, he is often happy. Yes, he is. Well, it's not a nice one. He is often happy. He is. Let's do this one at the bottom here. Okay, that's the better one. He is never sad. He is never sad. Verb to be. So the never comes after the verb to be. Okay. All right. Thank you.